Hey, what's going on, everybody? David here, and welcome back to another video with Avengers Infinity War right at our doorstep. I wanted to go ahead and take this opportunity to take a look back at some of the movies leading up to the big, epic battle. Now, I've already done 2 other videos where I unboxed Phase 1 set and the Phase 2 set. Since Phase 3 is not over yet and there is no set, we're going to take a look at some of the single titles, some of the steelbooks that have come out so far in Phase 3. First up, Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War is just, it was one of those that everybody anticipated, obviously because you have 2 buddies going head-to-head in full battle, you know? And obviously this was also the first appearance of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was a huge deal. Now, the movie itself is just one of those where the emotions were high. It's a high-stakes movie with a story that is just so emotionally driven that it blew everything out of the water. I love it. It's not my favorite Captain America film, I will say that, but it was just phenomenal. The way they put it all together, the airport battle that the Russos put together it was just wow. It was mind-blowing. And then we also got to see Giant Man for the first time, which is really, really cool. But the third act was the one with the meat. You know, seeing Captain America and Iron Man go head to head and fight, you know, it was very emotionally taxing. I still remember watching it for the first time, and I was just so drained after watching that final act, and just how sad it was to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Even though they didn't fully, you know, they weren't enemies, there was still a divide. There was still it was a broken team. It ended up being, and I wonder if we're gonna see, you know, some of that start to mend up in Infinity War, you know. So fantastic steelbook here. This is a Best Buy exclusive. You can see it, nice embossing there. Love the break, you know, in the middle there, and then here goes the back, which is a fantastic photo. But yeah, man, you know, this is one of my favorite steelbooks for Captain America Civil War. Love the interior artwork as well. Fantastic. All right, next up is one that and that's funny. With Phase 3, we get a lot of movies that are more single-based stories, more self-contained, which is really cool. And the one that really surprised me the most was Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was I honestly did not know how it was going to work and how it was going to come out. Thankfully, it exceeded all expectations and opened a lot of doors to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. They start kind of dabbling with the multiverse and things like that. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff. I geeked out as soon as they started talking about the multiverse and different dimensions and things like that, because it opens a lot of possibilities. I would love, and I don't know if you guys agree, but I would love to see a lot of like what if stories. Because back in the day, I don't know if you guys are comic fans or not, how many of you are comic fans or not, but back in the day we used to get a lot of what if stories. It was a line of books called, you know, What If, and there were just these stories they were self-contained stories as well, but they were just experimental to a certain extent. Like, what if Captain America never got his shield? Or what if Thor never got his hammer? That kind of thing. Or what if Captain America turned into the Hulk? That kind of stuff. I would love to see something like that. Or maybe like short films of something like that. I don't know what you guys think about that. But Doctor Strange was a really fantastic story. Great origin story to a certain extent of Doctor Strange. And seeing how they could put something together that had to do with like the mystic arts and things like that, and fit it right in perfectly into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, Doctor Strange has been one of my not my favorite character, but one of the ones that I've always kind of gravitated to when it comes to comics and things like that. Just because, again, it opens up a lot of possibilities, and that's pretty exciting, especially with a cinematic universe being involved. You can see here, fantastic embossing on this Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Love that. And then the inside here really isn't too much as far as interior artwork, but it's really, really nice as well. And then the back, really cool. All right, next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Who doesn't love the Guardians? They really shined really brightly in their first go around. So everybody was obviously very excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, as was I. Now this cover here is referencing one of the funniest moments in the movie as well, the much quoted and talked about moment in the movie, which is really cool. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, James Gunn is a genius. He is. He really put together a group of characters and actors that work fantastically together. And it's a lot of characters that nobody knew. And that's kind of like the mind-blowing part, that they weren't the characters that everybody, obviously knew, like the X-Men or anything like that, or like Captain America or Iron Man. Nobody really knew these guys. And it's impressive how well he put the story together. How, again, this is another emotionally driven story as well. When it gets to the meat of it, we have him at odds with or trying to find his father, and there's a father-son connection there that really ties the whole movie together. And by the end of it, I remember by the end of it, I'm like, that's beautiful. I just, I remember watching it in the theaters with my family, and I look over and my daughter's crying. She's bawling, and she looks at me and she goes, "Are they all gonna be like this?" But yeah, so that's really the coolest part about this movie as well, is that there is still a depth of humanity there within the story, even though it's about a bunch of aliens for the most part. So that's really cool. I love this movie. I will say I love the movie. In my opinion, I still really do like the first one more so than the second one, just because you get that excitement of seeing the Guardians together for the first time in the first one. I do love this one as well, though. Just again, like I said, the whole father-son dynamic in this movie was really, really great, and I really love the characters. And then we get teenage Groot, baby Groot for a good while, and then we get teenage Groot at the end, and then fantastic post-credit scenes as well. Next up, we have Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Homecoming is a phenomenal movie. I love it. This is Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, was my favorite for a very long time, because I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan, and that felt like an Evil Dead type of Spider-Man movie, which is really awesome. And nothing beat it out for a very long time until Spider-Man: Homecoming came along. Tom Holland is fantastic. I do love Tobey Maguire, and I actually really do like Andrew Garfield as well. But Tom Holland has it all. And I know, there's going to be people out there that are like, "Oh, I hate that kid. He's so stupid." But really, Tom Holland has it all. He really does. Okay, my argument, I guess, or my defense of this movie all the time is, okay, you had Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire was, I can already see people angrily typing in the comments. Tobey Maguire had this nerdiness to him, right? But he never really had like the cool factor, to be honest with you. I still love Tobey Maguire. Andrew Garfield had too much of the cool factor and almost little to no nerdiness, in my opinion. Tom Holland has both. He's able to balance it both aspects perfectly, I feel like, and that's what's needed for Peter Parker. He needs to be really super cool, but then at the same time really super nerdy as well, and he does it really, really well. And they definitely needed to go younger in this aspect with Peter Parker this time around, so that way he can be around longer as Spider-Man, and they won't have to recast him. He won't look like he's getting older like super older at any point. Vulture was a fantastic, phenomenal villain. Probably one of the best Spider-Man villains thus far. Michael Keaton is just an amazing actor, and the design of Vulture himself in the movie is just perfect, so perfect. So you can see there, such a perfect villain. I loved it. Right, and there goes the interior artwork. Nothing too busy there. In the back, I love the artwork on this steelbook as well. Look at that, fantastic artwork. All right, and next up is Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, again, you know, it was another great movie. Phase 3, honestly, was a group of almost perfect movies, I felt like. Taika Waititi just knocked this one out of the park. I've been aware of his work, and I've seen a couple of his movies and things like that in the past. When I heard that he was going to be taking on Thor Ragnarok, I was a little unsure, just because, you know, I know his humor. And to get the idea to have the idea that Thor could possibly be a comedy felt weird. It felt really odd at first. I will admit to that. Obviously, as we saw trailers and stuff come out, everybody, myself included, was just like, okay, all right, I'm willing to give this a shot. Let's go for this ride. Watched the movie, loved the movie so much, and it worked out so perfectly that this was like a buddy comedy. You know, having Hulk in there really rounded out the movie as a whole. Love the look of Thor in this movie as well. They cut his hair short, and it was a little odd at first, but I think he looks really, really cool with the short hair. And I love the story. The story it felt very self-contained as well. And then at the end, you know, you get that little push for what's to come in the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3. So that was really nice. I like that. Taika's Korg in there was just the funniest thing ever. I love it. I could see a spin-off movie of that character happening at some point. But yeah, so really great movie. Let's take a look at this front here. Fantastic, glossy. The back, and I love the helmet, by the way, the new helmet. I thought that was really cool as well. Now, if he would just keep it, maybe for another movie or so, but I don't think that's going to happen. There goes the interior there. Hulk's on the other side, but I'm not going to take out the disc. And then front, back, and spine. And then we come to Black Panther, which I don't have Black Panther yet. Obviously, it comes out May 15th, but we'll just put a photo there, like I'm holding it. Black Panther was a fantastic movie. Loved it so much. This was one of those characters that everybody had been wanting to see forever, and I'm glad that they finally did it. You know, they teased it all the way back in like Iron Man 2, I believe. And seeing a movie with just nothing but African American actors was just awesome. You know, as me being a minority, I felt very like, I was just like, wow, this is super cool, man. You know, I love to see stuff like that happen. Love to see, you know, the importance of a superhero just kind of go sky high, you know. Seeing various interviews and things like that, and seeing the emotional connection to people with Black Panther, like, just really, it brings a tear to my eye sometimes, for real. Because, you know, you have kids that look up to these superheroes, and they finally get a superhero that they can relate to, like, personally. And that's amazing. I love the aspect that it's such an important movie for society. You know what I mean? And not just that as a superhero movie, just as a movie in general. As a movie in general, it's phenomenal. It's so good. It could just be a movie that had nothing to do with Marvel at all, and it would just be so breathtaking. Loved all the actors in there and all that. And admittedly, I've seen that movie about 6 times already. So good. And then again, there's that little push right at the end of that leads it further down into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I love that we're getting that with Phase 3. Hopefully that continues to go on. We're getting a lot of more self-contained stories, which is really, really cool. And then there's that little push that goes on to the next film or next group of films that makes it really satisfying. You know what I mean? Because we want to see really good movies, but we also want to see that overall story arc continue down the road. And I'm glad that we're getting that. And we're getting there to Avengers Infinity War. Now that we're done with the movie side of things, I want to talk about spoilers. If you guys have seen the movie already, which some of you have, please do not spoil it for anybody down in the comments or anything like that. And I know there's already been people that have commented, said, I love your videos, I love watching your videos, man, but I'm staying away until after Avengers Infinity War. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I completely understand. Do that if you have to. But just overall, remember, Thanos demands your silence. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. We do have, there are a couple of more movies in Phase 3 to look out for. We have Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and then Avengers 4. So maybe we'll do another one of these down the line at some point anyway. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you dug this video or found it informative in any way, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, because I will be coming back with more videos as always. And with all that being said, we'll catch you next time.